Commander HFY of the Galactic Defense Coalition watched the human trainees with barely concealed disdain as they huddled around their primitive simulation pods. The sleek, chrome-plated training facility on Kepler Station buzzed with activity as various species honed their combat skills. But the humans always drew attention for all the wrong reasons. "Look at them," chittered Sub-Commander Veltar, his mantis-like appendages gesturing toward the human section. "They're actually arguing about their simulated deaths." Indeed, the humans were engaged in what appeared to be a heated discussion. Captain Sarah Chen stood over the pod where Sergeant Marcus Webb had just died in the simulation, her voice carrying across the bay. "You pushed too hard on that flank, Webb. The AI predicted your movement pattern after the third engagement." "The AI cheated," Webb protested, climbing out of the pod. "No organic being processes targeting data that fast." Lieutenant Torres laughed from her own pod. "That's because you're thinking like a human fighting humans. The hegemony uses biomechanical enhancement. They do process that fast." HFY's 4 eyes rolled in their sockets. This was exactly why humans had been relegated to support roles in the Coalition fleet. Their primitive brains couldn't adapt to modern warfare's computational demands. They treated their training simulations like some sort of philosophical debate, rather than objective skill assessment. The Velkari commander had witnessed this same scene dozens of times over the past month. Humans would enter the combat simulations, advanced AI constructs designed to replicate real battlefield conditions, and emerge arguing about hypothetical scenarios, tactical alternatives, and what-if situations. Meanwhile, the more advanced, species like the Velkari or the crystalline Shardhai, would simply analyze their performance metrics and adjust accordingly. "Sir," Veltar's translator crackled, "the latest simulation results show humans maintaining their abysmal 23% survival rate against standard hegemony forces. The Shardhai achieved 78%, and our forces scored 71%. "Predictable," HFY replied, his beak-like mouth clicking dismissively. "Send the data to High Command. Recommend humans remain in logistics and support roles when we engage the hegemony." That recommendation would prove to be the most catastrophic mistake in Coalition military history. 3 weeks later, the hegemony struck without warning. Their biomechanical fleets tore through the outer colonies, leaving devastation in their wake. The Coalition's response was swift, but struggled against an enemy that seemed to anticipate every tactical move. On the bridge of the Coalition flagship Harmony, Admiral Kreshevol watched in growing horror as battle reports flooded in. The Velkari Third Fleet had been decimated at Proxima 7. The Shardhai formations, despite their technological superiority, were being systematically outmaneuvered. "They're adapting faster than our combat models predicted," reported the tactical officer. "Every engagement pattern we've used is being countered within minutes." In the chaos of the command center, a human voice cut through the alien chatter. "Admiral, request permission to deploy human combat units." Admiral Kreshevol turned to see Captain Chen, somehow managing to look calm despite the crisis unfolding around them. "Captain, your species simulation scores are irrelevant, sir," Chen interrupted, a breach of protocol that would normally result in disciplinary action. "We request immediate deployment to Kepler Station. The hegemony is moving to take it." Before the Admiral could respond, another report arrived. "Sir, long-range sensors show massive hegemony fleet approaching Kepler. Our defensive forces are requesting immediate reinforcement." With conventional tactics failing across the front, Kreshevol made a desperate decision. "Deploy the human units, but their support only." "No, sir," Chen said firmly. "Give us primary combat authorization. We know something about the hegemony that your simulations never taught you." 12 hours later, Commander HFY found himself commanding the desperate defense of Kepler Station, alongside human forces he had dismissed as incompetent. The hegemony fleet approached in perfect formation, their biomechanical ships pulsing with ominous energy. "Human vessels, maintain support positions," HFY ordered. "We'll handle the primary engagement." Captain Chen's response came over. An open channel. "Negative, Commander. We're going in hot. All human units execute pattern Chaos 7. HFY watched in bewilderment as the human ships broke from all established tactical doctrine. Instead of maintaining formation, they scattered in seemingly random directions. Instead of following predictable attack vectors, they employed erratic, almost suicidal maneuvers. The hegemony fleet, which had been adapting to coalition tactics with machine-like precision, suddenly faltered. Their biomechanical minds, designed to process and counter logical tactical patterns, struggled against the apparent chaos of human strategy. What are they doing? Veltar demanded as a human destroyer performed an impossible spinning attack that should have left it vulnerable, but somehow resulted in 3 hegemony kills. Then HFY understood. The humans weren't following any tactical doctrine because they were creating new ones in real time. Every human ship was operating on individual initiative, adapting moment by moment to battlefield conditions. Where other species relied on predetermined responses and computational analysis, humans were improvising. The hegemony's adaptive AI, designed to counter logical military thinking, couldn't predict the beautifully irrational chaos of human combat creativity. In the simulation pods, the humans hadn't been failing. They'd been learning to think beyond the parameters of artificial intelligence. As the battle turned in the Coalition's favor, Sergeant Webb's voice crackled over the comm. Just like we discussed in training, people, the enemy can predict logical responses, but they can't predict crazy. When the hegemony fleet finally retreated, leaving Kepler Station scarred but standing, Commander HFY finally understood why humans had argued so much in their training simulations. They hadn't been debating failure, they'd been preparing for the impossible. Later, as damage reports filtered in, Admiral Kresheval asked Captain Chen the question that burned in every alien mind. "How did you know?" Chen smiled, her expression carrying the weight of hard-won wisdom. "Because we've been fighting wars against thinking opponents for millennia, Admiral. We learned long ago that the most sophisticated strategy becomes predictable. Sometimes the only winning move is the one that makes no sense at all." The galaxy would never underestimate human combat doctrine again.